to a very calm and serene Johnson's Lake up in Godalming. This is my first trip up here this year because I've heard that the Crucian fishing has been terrible. Nobody's been getting any Crucians, which is why I've not been coming up. People have been getting blank after blank after blank, and you know, not even getting any Tench. Certainly no Crucians. But I thought I'd give it a go, you know, it's the end of July. And what I'm going to do is give it the morning on here. Started fishing about 10 minutes ago, first light, you know, 5, just after 5. Just got the first cast out there, small fluoro pellets, a bit of ground bait around the feeder, small 2mm pellets, spawned out a bit of pellet as well, just small ones, 2s and 3s. So I'm going to fish till lunchtime, you know, 12 o'clock, midday. If I've not caught anything, I'm going to move over onto Harris Lake, which is just over the back there. So hopefully at some point today I'll get a Crucian. Well, it's just after 9 o'clock now, and as you can see the sun's well up. I mean, when I actually drove up here this morning it was raining, light rain, and then it was cloudy for the first 2 or 3 hours, and then the clouds have broken up and we're back to the blistering hot sunshine, and it looks like it's going to be a bit of a scorcher. So progress report, not a lot really. I've had two bites, which alone is a result really. The first one whacked up, the rod pulled around, crikey, here we go, pulled in, just nothing there. How did I miss that? Cast it back out, 10 minutes later, beep 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 beep, all the way up, pulled into it, got a fish on. It wasn't a tench because they charge off and rattle around like crazy, so it was, something was on there. I don't know what it was. It could have been a rudd or a roach, or it could have been a Crucian, I don't know, but it was on for 5 seconds and it came off. Sort of a big fizz of bubbles come up off the bottom. So I was a bit disappointed on that one. That was around about 7 o'clock, I think. Since then, nothing apart from tufties constantly diving. There's about 30 of them on here, and when they all, you know, group up together and get over your spot, they just keep diving and diving and diving, and I've had quite a lot of little knocks from them, and just now I actually hooked one, you know, smack off it went, flapping about on the surface, got it in a little way and it came off. So that's been it so far. Hooked three things I've hooked, 2 fish, lost them both, 1 bird, and that come off as well. So I don't really hold out much hope, really, staying on here, but I will give it a few more hours, maybe fish it up to midday, if I can last that long. And then I'm going to pack up and I'm going to go over onto Harris, see if I can get a few little tench, by chance of a small Crucian. Right, well, it's about 11:30 now, and still no bites, you know, it's hopeless. Not even getting any little twitches or anything. And it's blisteringly hot, sweating buckets here. Basically had enough. So I'm going to knock it on the head now and clear off over onto Harris. Stand a bit of chance there, so see you over there in a bit. Just spent all morning on Johnson's for nothing, and as soon as I've moved on to Harris, I'm straight into the fish. As soon as I cast out, the indicators were going. Oh, and there it goes again. There we are. So here we go. Here's the first half decent one of the afternoon from Harris. Just doing the afternoon to evening on Harris. I'm in peg 42. Got one out to the lilies, one halfway out. I've been here 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, and I think I've had 5 fish already. 3 tench and 2 nice rudd. 2 small tench, about 2 or 3 pound, and this is the best one so far. I've been here for half an hour and I can't keep up with it. It's hectic, bite after bite after bite with tench and a roach and rudd. That's one of them. 4 1/4 pound tench. Nice enough fish, but have a look at what else I got. How about that then? This is what I've been after, and it's an absolutely classic looking golden, buttery golden Crucian carp. But there you go, cracking double shot. What a result. There. They don't all have to be giants to be beautiful. Look at him. Well, it's 2 o'clock now, just before 2 o'clock, so that means I haven't even been fishing 2 hours, and I have actually lost count of the number of tench I've had. I think it's around about 12, I think, and I've also had 4 Crucians as well. I had that lovely 2.5, and another one around about a pound, and I've had 2 around about this size, you know. And this is what's happening. You know, I'm casting out, and within a minute it's going. And this feels like it might be another Crucian. Coming in gently, you know. No, it's a tench. These little ones just don't know when to give up, do they? It's probably no more than 2 pounds, this thing, but it just wouldn't give up. That's the average size today. There you go, this is all I'm doing. Standard stuff. I've got a braided hook link on this one. Size 12 with a little 6mm fluoro, banded wafter, green stim and green lip mussel extract ground bait with little 2mm pellets mixed in with it. Simple as that. Drennan flatbed feeder, bit of tubing and a back lead just to pin it all down. And that's not a flying back lead, that's sort of wedged over the end of the tubing there so it doesn't slide up the line. But the whole thing's free running. take on the other rod. See, this is how crazy it is. Whew. Blimey. It's hot, but you know, those fish are feeding like crazy up there. You wouldn't believe it. 30 degrees, 25, 26, 27, 28, I don't know. Really hot today. And those tench and some Crucians are feeding like crazy. Honestly, I've barely had time to sit down. I've been in the swim for 2 hours maximum now. I've had 15, 16 fish in less than 2 hours. Absolutely crazy. I've lost a few fish as well. I've had double takes. You know, I've had a nice tench and Crucian on the bank at the same time. It's just, I can't keep up with it. I even just then, I had a take while I was playing another fish. Pulled the other rod in. Fish came off, and the bait was still on, but the feeder was empty. And I thought, you know what? I'm not even going to put any mouldy feed, ground bait around the feeder. I'm just going to chuck it out with a bare feeder and a little wafter hook bait. That was a rod that I just cast out. It's been out, I'll time it in a minute, it's probably been there less than a minute. Just in a while it took me to swing it back out there. After I had that little tench, and I got another fish on. And you know, each time I'm hoping it's a Crucian, especially when it comes in steadily, like this one. It's another tench. It's another tench pretending to be a Crucian. There you go, another one. And that's how crazy it's been. Another average one, about 3.5 pound this one. Right, I'm going to switch it off to save the battery power, but if I get something decent like a nice Crucian or a £5 plus tench, I'll get back to you. Okay, see you later. Kapow! Another one bites the dust. I'm getting on for 20 tench now. Still roasting hot, but I'm still catching the tench. I think I'm over 20 now. This is just about the best of the day, so they're starting to get a bit bigger. Lovely condition fish, this one. Perfect in every detail. and a good 5 pounder this one, so this is the best one of the day so far. Blimey, it's hotting up now, not only weather wise but fish catching wise. Every time I'm chucking it out there I'm getting a bite straight away. Now this one's pushing 6 pounds. I'll quickly weigh it before I put it back, but it's a good 5.12 to 6, maybe just over 6 this one. And unhooked it in the net as I do, chucked the rod straight back out, and literally the bobbin pulled out of my hand. I hadn't even put the alarm on, and that one came in more gently because it's another crew. Not a monster, but look at the colour of that. Absolutely beautiful. A small one, about a pound, something like that, a bit low for a pound, but one for the future. There you go. Nice brace. Can't stop catching tench here. As soon as I cast it out, it's just going off straight away. It's ridiculous. It's getting on for about 6 o'clock now, and I think I've had like 6 fish in the last hour. Less than that. Now this is another good 5. 5.5 I reckon for this one. Approaching 6 again. So I'm starting to get amongst the better fish now as the evening's coming in and the sun's sort of sinking behind the trees. Another lovely Crucian, another one for the future. But it's just after 8 now, and just getting ready to call it a day. Probably give it another half an hour. I'm actually up to 28 fish, believe it or not. Mostly tench, and mostly small tench. Around about 2 to 3 pounds, but you know, I've had a few 4s, a couple of 5s, 3 5s I think, up to just under 6. 5.12 was the biggest tench today. 7 Crucians as well, up to 2.5 pounds. So very pleased with those. So it's been a great day, an absolute real turnaround. You know, I mean, this morning over on Johnson's was waste of time. So I'm glad I moved over to Harris for the afternoon into evening. 28 fish, as I say. You know, I was hoping to get it up to a nice round 30. So that's why I'm staying on a bit. But the fish have stopped feeding now. I mean, it's crazy. They've been feeding all day in blistering hot sunshine, and now it's cooled down and the sun's gone down, but they've stopped feeding. Typically. But as I say, I'll give it another half an hour. Thoroughly enjoyable day. Really enjoyed catching all those fish, getting the old rod bent. You know, it was a great fun day, and thoroughly enjoyed it. So hope you enjoyed it too, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.